3, 2, 1.
Hi, Year 9, Year 10, Year 11. Welcome to some revision on Follower by Seamus Heaney in preparation for your GCSE exam. It's by no means everything. It'll be quite quick just to go through some key ideas. The poem is there. I would like to think that you've got it in front of you so you can make annotations. Very simply, it's the relationship between father and son. We shift from past to present. The son's reaction at the passing of time, at the fact that it's autobiographical. The father works the land, the child follows. The follower uses alternate rhyme. In places, however, this changes to near or slant rhyme. Arguably, this creates a sense of instability and uncertainty, suggesting that the speaker will never be like his dad. It could perhaps show that the speaker does not fulfil the childhood he wants because he follows his dad and is in awe of his dad and takes up that role later on in the poem. More simply, though, it could be the passing of time and this role reversal. We have the iambic tetrameter where the stress falls on the second syllable. So as you can see there, I've underlined it, so it goes da-dum, da-dum. And the stress falling on the second syllable, I think, emphasises the title and this idea that the child follows, and then this will change to the father following. It could even signify the power imbalance and the notion that one looks up to the other and this bond. But also you could argue that it even mimics the action of the young boy stumbling and falling, and then how that reverses at the end. The majority of the poem is in the past tense, changes at the end to the present tense. Does that show that there is a distance between the two? Whilst physically the son follows the father around, is there a subtle distance between them emotionally and spiritually, etc.? The line here, which the simile creates this image of the father being like a sail on a boat. Now, a sail on a boat is essential because it catches the wind, it moves the boat along, much like wings on a plane. So we've got this idea that the father gives the son direction, gives the son momentum to move forward with his life. However, the other section of that is his shoulders are globed. We get the physicality of the job. If we're looking for grade 7, 8 and 9, we might argue that this reference is a link to the god Atlas. I've put an image there for you. Now, the god Atlas was punished. In some stories, he held up earth. In some stories, he held up the sky. Now, the word Atlas originated with Virgil, and it meant hard and enduring. And in other historical linguistics, it meant to uphold and to support. So this image of the shoulders globed shows us again that there is an affection and an admiration whereby the father plays God, but also this idea to uphold and support his son. The flip side of that is the hard, enduring reading of the word Atlas. Then is the farming is very, very hard. The sibilance use in this line here mimics the difficult task of ploughing the field and ploughing the grass. You could argue that it's the notion of how effortlessly, though, he controls the horses with the clicking of his tongue, and the sound, the consonants and the sibilance kind of mirrors that action. Strained obviously just reiterates the fact that this is difficult. The two lines, an expert, is heightened by the caesura there. It's very matter of fact. We know that the father is very knowledgeable, and if the son is viewing him as an expert, again, we've got that notion of admiration. And expert comes from the Latin expertus, which means to try. But we know he tries, and we know actually as a farmer he succeeds. The horses seem to respect the father, and therefore the slightest movement and the slightest clicking of the tongue means that the horses follow him. So we've got that air of admiration and respect, not only from the son, from the horses as well. And the enjambment mimics this effortlessness of the father with the animals. Yes, we know the job's hard, and that comes from the consonants and the sibilants, but then I suppose the movement of the horses, you could argue, is the use of the enjambment there. When he narrows his eye focus, clearly he focuses on the farming. Ask yourself, though, if the father is focusing solely on the farming and therefore missing a deeper relationship with his son, a greater connection with his son, and therefore he's a little bit closed off. I stumbled in his hobnailed wake. First person now. The speaker is introduced. So we've got from a focus on the father, now we've got the speaker introduced, and he admits that he stumbles because he can't keep up with his dad. Under that, then you have the admiration of the father doing this job. And this idea that sometimes he has to get on his back. It's that link to the early reference of the god Atlas. He's got the son on his back. The tone of admiration and worship is there. It's an affectionate image where the child is jumping and piggybacking on the father. We say that not only is the job difficult of farming the land, but also that he piggybacks the son as well. There seems to be a contrast at the end between what the son wants and the following. The speaker longs to be like his dad, but it seems like the job's a bit too difficult for him. And then the noun shadow stresses the importance of perhaps the son not measuring up to his father. And not only that, but the shadow is broad, so he knows he's got something quite big to live up to. Close one eye has this air of desperation. At the end, he admits that he's probably just getting in the way of his father when he works, but this is all changed at the Shazera. And then the conjunction but changes the tone, and we move to the present because we flip roles. The father now struggles to keep up with the son. The father might be old, which is why he stumbles, or perhaps the son is even more skilled than he was. The tables have turned, but look at the final line. After the Shazera again, and will not go away, the bond between the two is strong regardless of who's following who. Perhaps we've got this idea that father-son relationships will always have a role reversal where the child admires the father, and then that will change to the father admiring the child. This was very quick. I hope it's useful. Please check out my YouTube channel if you need anything else. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @StaceyRay, and massive good luck in your exams.